Hey Harmonizers, here is an Elysia update. I wanted to share with you guys some recent footage of her doing some different things while I also updated you on how she's doing after getting sick. And so this is her and Tori doing a jumping lesson, and they were working on progressing over a little bit of a higher height and also working up to doing full canter courses. And we were making it a priority to make sure she got the correct leads all the time. I find when you do that, it can start to get the horse to be a little bit more careful about doing their flying lead changes. If you say, no, like it's important, please get the correct lead and be balanced. And you can see that she's doing those simple changes pretty nicely, getting those leads, like she's understanding what it is that she's supposed to do. And you'll get to see a really cool transformation between this course and the next one. So there she only swapped the front end, didn't get the hind end. So she brought her back, rebalances, and then says, okay, let's go. And rather than going from the trot, we're trying to slow down a little bit more, make sure she gets really balanced to do those lead changes. So here again, she gets the front end, and then you can see pretty quickly she actually got the back end. And Tori then picked up the canter again, doing really, really well figuring that out. And then here's a little look at her last course. So while I'm showing you guys some of her awesome little jumping footage, I just want to highlight what an amazing horse that she's become, because wow, she's like a superstar at our farm. She's not just my personal horse for your playing around at Liberty and bridleless and doing demos and going on amazing road trips and things together. She's also become such a little superstar in our lesson program because you can trust her to go over the different jumps. She can do beautiful transitions like she just did there. She's very honest going over the fences, and she's pretty easy to speed up or slow down. Sometimes a little bit lazy for the go. It depends on if she's having a frisky day or not, but she's really become such a special horse to have. She can definitely still have some fresh moments. We got to make sure that if it's really bad footing outside, that she gets to run around and get her friskies out, but that's just reasonable. She's still a really young horse as well. And it's been really hard with her being sick. Both, there's a lot of students that are really upset because she's definitely their favorite horse. And then for me as well, being my personal horse, it was like the worst news ever to find out that she had such a high fever and that she wasn't eating and all of those things. So some of the good news about how she's doing is her fever seems to have come down with the medicine that we're giving her. And then could be because she's been getting Banamine 3 times a day. And so now that her fever has been staying down, she's actually starting to get weaned off of the Banamine meds. So we're starting to give her fewer doses throughout the day. We're going to wean down to just 1 dose a day and potentially even take her off of that entirely. And this is a little clip of me working with her. This was probably only a couple days before she did get sick, and you can see she just looks like a normal horse, lying down, doing a little roll for me. There were no signs that I picked up on that this was kind of coming. So it just kind of hit her out of the blue. And here laying down for some belly rubs. Such a sweetheart. And I've got my dogs running around in the background. And so it's funny because sometimes people say, like, are your horses good around dogs? I'm like, yeah, because my dogs definitely run around, chase cats, kind of waddle around while I'm playing with them. I don't tend to bring them out during lesson time. We've got lots of beginners and things out, but when I'm playing with my own horses, they definitely come out and love having the attention around me. They're kind of a little bit jealous, I think, of Elysia here. They're like, why is she getting all the attention and getting cookies? Like, how come we're not getting anything? They're coming over to check things out. And this was technically my first ride back on a horse, because I'm not fully cleared to ride yet after my accident in the fall. But I'm feeling pretty good in many ways, and I was like itching to get back on a horse because I'm pretty sure it's part of my DNA to love riding. So this is me just sitting on Elysia and practicing a little bit of clapping too, because one of the things that I was practicing for was going to the Horse World Expo and bringing Elysia to be part of some demos. And so now, because of her being sick, I do not plan to be bringing her to Pennsylvania. I plan to bring Elysia instead, who was my 2015 Thoroughbred makeover champion. And here I'm just kind of practicing different things, having fun, having a little sit on my horse, who's one of my, best horses, well-trained horses. I know her so well. So even though I'm technically sitting on a horse, from a safety perspective, even if she were to get up, it would simply like push me out of the way. It wouldn't be it's not like a super high risk thing to do, especially with a horse that's as trusting and connected to me as Elysia is. And so just kind of continuing on how she's doing, we're weaning her off of that Banamine, and she's eating a little bit more, but it's so tricky because I don't know that she's happy living in the stall. We do let her out into the round pen to stretch her legs and get some fresh air, but because we're wanting to keep an eye on how much she's eating, drinking, pooping, we're having her spend a fair bit of time in the stall, because then we can better monitor how she's doing. But I'm pretty sure that she's kind of saying like, all right, I want to live back outside with my friends. And we're like, okay, but then we can't really know who's eating the hay and how's that going. And it's really good for horses to live outside with other friends and to be out all the time. It's really great for them mentally, socially, physically, but at the same time, it's a bit risky because we didn't know that she wasn't eating all of her food. And so we don't want to put her back in that situation too soon, even though her fever is seeming better and staying down. And we're going to see how it goes weaning her off of the different medications. And we're going to hope that her food intake starts to get better and better. And we're starting to give her a little bit more time, but private turnout, so we can just better monitor how much food she's actually eating. But so far, it looks like she might be part of that smaller percentage that actually does better. So I have no idea if she ate something really weird in the field. Some people have mentioned different tick diseases, but we are in Canada during winter right now with like ice and snow. And even when it's not ice and snow, we live on a pretty sandy soil, drier hill kind of climate. So ticks are very, very rare. Like I've never actually found one on one of my dogs, not unless we have gone somewhere else to like a forest or something. So it would be really unusual for her to have some type of a tick disease. However, the vet did do so many different blood panels and fecal tests and nasal swabs that all of that stuff coming back negative has kind of ruled out a lot of the other things. So it is looking hopeful, thank goodness, because she is definitely my heart horse, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted as to how it goes.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.